230, 231, and 232. Within this, I'm walking still the control-free character, and within this character, I'm looking at the point of having the last word. And within this particular situation, what I'm writing about is that I was in an environment and this other person was with me, and there was a point that wasn't aligning in what we were doing, and I was upset about that, I was angry about that, and so I kept nagging her and pushing her to admit to what she was doing, like her mistakes, what I thought were mistakes, and I kept pushing and pushing, and we would speak, and I was always desiring to have the last word, and so I would, make sure I had the last word, and it was like, if I didn't have the last word, I would walk around and it would be in my mind the whole time of, I need to go have the last word, I need to make sure that my point is heard, and I'm the winner. It was about winning, like competition. And it was spiteful because I wanted her to have my idea or my solution or whatever the issue was in her mind, and not have her have the last word, and it be her solution, her way. So it ended up being that I pushed her so much that she started to cry and told me to go away and leave her alone. And so, within that moment I realized what I did, and how it accumulated to this point of her crying, and how I just accepted this point of I have to go get the last word, allowing that desire to direct me to go and push and prod her. And within this, it abused the other person, and she cried, and I harmed them. And it was also a point of accumulated anger within me that I never directed towards her or towards other people, and so I blamed her for things, and I blamed others, and I took my anger out on her, and used that nagging and that competition point of me getting the last word, and as like a release of the anger within me, and having her hear, like, see that I was angry and was on annoyed at her and such. But it backfired, and obviously it wasn't a solution and a quality to walk. And so, even walking this process, I still got possessed in this point, and I still went and I caused another to cry. And within, like, after the point, I felt really guilty and felt really shitty because I knew what I did, and I, had to face that consequence of her, feeling bad, and, the feeling of making another person cry like an adult. So it was really uncomfortable and kind of shameful. And so obviously I'm not going to accept this point to continue. I mean, it was kind of a cool point in the sense that I realized how far I will go with things like this, with competition, and how far I'll go with anger and blame, and allow the mind to direct me into these points, because within myself I accumulated all this anger towards this environment I was in, because I wasn't, directing points, and I was assuming things and such in my mind, and so it was never open and cleared with people in the environment, but it was all within me that I held up within myself and never directed it, but allowed it to accumulate, and eventually it blew up in this point of me becoming possessive and wanting the last word and nagging and prodding someone, and eventually the person cried, and it was a point of abuse. So I walked the forgiveness of, competition, anger, the desire to have the last word in, like breaking that down and seeing that it was a point of self-interest to be seen as someone who was witty and like seen as a witty person and smart to other people in the environment that were there, and that I was right, and it was just a point of competition. So the commitments were obviously to stop that point of competition, stop going into the thoughts and accumulating the thoughts of me being better than someone, or me being superior, me knowing how to do things and other people not, and living within this point of competition with others in my environment, and instead, walk what physically is happening, walk what physically going and directing communication with other people, and finding out why people may not be doing things that they're supposed to be doing, or what's going on, that things aren't being aligned within what's going on in the environment, and figure out a solution to it, not accuse, abuse, and cause someone to physically break down. I mean, that's extremely unacceptable, and it's not something I'm proud of at all. So just walking this point through. Obviously, when I see I'm going to this point of desire to get the last word and I stop it immediately, I check myself and see why I'm going into this point. I stop all the points of competition. If there's points within me that I see are, that are not clear and are causing anger, I stop the anger and I direct the point and find solutions with those that are causing this reaction within me. So, don't allow the anger to accumulate. Breathe through it. Find the origin point, the starting or the trigger point of why this anger is coming up, and don't go and blow up on someone and not direct the point. Direct the point with the person and figure out a solution and a quality, and treat others how you would want to be treated, or how I would want to be treated. So that's definitely a principle to live by, and I will continue to walk this point and live it, not accepting myself to ever cause someone to cry, because obviously I wouldn't want to be in that situation, and I wouldn't want someone, abusing me in that way. So why would I do it to someone else? Alright, thanks for listening. Bye.